this upper body mobility sequence, we're going to start with our spine and then work our way up into our shoulders, ultimately finishing with our neck. As with any mobility sequence, it's important to ultimately work to achieve range of motion, but also to be able to control that range of motion. So we're going to start with a controlled articular rotation sequence with our entire spine. So we got our lumbar spine, then our thoracic spine, and then our cervical spine, and we're going to go through a segmented cat-camel, just nice and slow. So you're going to be down on all fours here. From here, knees are shoulder width apart, hands are placed into the floor, and I'm going to start by just opening up nice and slowly through my lower back, and you can even follow along with your finger. We're going to go into flexion, which is a rounded position, and then switch down into extension. So I'm going to start nice and slow with my hand right on sort of that bottom spinous process. So the little pointy parts that come out of our spine, we want to start on the bottom one there, and I just want to think of opening that. Then I'm going to come up to the next one, and the next one, next one, next one, next one. You'll notice some areas stiffer than others. Next one, next one. Once you can no longer bring your hand behind you, you just got to sort of go based on how it feels. Next one, nice and slow into my thoracic spine, all the way up, and then I'm going to finish with my cervical spine, supporting my head, tilting all the way down. And then we got a good stretch here. Now I'm going to start slow going through the lumbar. So again, just one at a time, into extension. Good. Going into that middle back, thoracic spine, extension, 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 and then T-spine, and we'll start again. We're going to open up through the lower, into our mid-back, upper back. I'm going to push the floor away, try and get as rounded as possible, finishing off with my neck, and then start back up, get lower, middle, upper, good, and head comes up, and again, nice and slow, lower, middle, upper, pushing away, good, and then switch again, lower, middle, upper, good, and finishing with our neck. One of my favorite segments or stretching series to go through is that segmented cat-camel. So from here, what we're going to do, it's important to have optimal flexion and extension and be able to control those ranges of motion pain-free. It's also very important, particularly for our thoracic spine, to be able to go into extension and rotation. So it's exactly what this exercise does. From here, we're going to be down on all fours. I'm going to have my knees shoulder width apart, hands shoulder width apart. I'm going to take my two fingers, place them on my temple. From here with my elbow, I'm going to dip down, and then I'm going to go back. This is extension and rotation at the same time, reaching all the way up and back. That's one. We're going to go for 8. Dip down, and notice how lower back is not moving. It's all coming through that T-spine. Dip down, and then come back. 2, down, up and back. 3, down, up and back. 4, down, up and back. 5, down, back. 6, down, back. 7, down, up. 8, good. We'll switch to the other side. From here, same idea, down, back, 1, down, up and back, 2, down, up and back, 3, down, up and back, 4, down, trying to get higher and higher each time, back, 5, down, back, 6, down, back, 7, down, and up. 8, very good. Okay, for the next one, we're going to stretch out particularly through our chest and our anterior shoulder. There's many different stretches you can use in order to do so. What we're going to do is we're going to have our hands placed out just a little wider and shoulder width apart here. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive my shoulder and open it up away from my hand as best as I possibly can. So we're going to get actually a bit of T-spine extension rotation here as we rotate outwards, but also too, good stretch. You should feel it almost all the way through your bicep, anterior shoulder, and then into your chest as well. So we're going to rotate down, and we're going to hold for 3, 2, 1, and then we'll switch. We'll come back up, go to the other side, rotate down, 3, 2, 1, 2, back up, and down, 3, 2, 1, 3, good, back up, down, 3, 2, 1, 4, try to feel it through the bicep as well. We're gonna go for 10 down, 3, 2, 1, 5, good, and switch down, 3, 2, 1, 6, good, and down, 3, 2, 1, 7, good, and switch, 3, 2, 1, 8, good, and switch, 3, 2, 1, 9, good, and switch, 3, 2, 1, and 10. Awesome. Okay, from here, it's very, very important to be able to stretch muscles out, as I talk about often in these segments. You also want to be able to activate. So we get a good stretch through our chest here, and oftentimes when we get a good stretch through one muscle, the opposing muscle will be able to activate a little bit better. So what we're going to do is we're going to work particularly the muscles at the bottom of our shoulder blades to pull and suck our shoulder blades down and in, create a little scapular stability. So what I'm going to do, flip my head around, I'm going to have my hands, fingers interlaced right around my back. What I want to ensure is that I don't poke and lift my chest up as I perform this exercise. I want to make sure that I'm nice and neutral and stable. You can do it from standing if you want. You can do it from a half kneeling position as well, just like so. And from here, what we're going to do is hands interlaced behind the head. And then from here, I'm going to pull back and hold. 3, 2, 1, 1. Good, and relax. And where I'm trying to feel this, right at the bottom of my shoulder blade. And I tend to have a much harder time activating it through my left. So I'll put a little bit of emphasis on my left side, just a little more focus and control. So let's go back again for 2. We're going to do 5. Hold. 3, 2, 1, 3. Good. Try and pull your elbows back even further with each rep. 3, 2, 1, 4. Good. And back. 3, 2, 1, 5. Good. Last one, nice and strong. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. 6. Good. Next one in that. And then what we're going to finish with, so we got good range of motion through our entire spine with that segmented cat camel, a little more emphasis on extension rotation, very important. And then from there, a little stretch through the chest, a little activation through our shoulder blades, and we'll finish off with our neck. We're just going to go controlled articular rotations. Again, if this position is uncomfortable for you, you can do so standing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my head, place it down. From here, right ear to the right shoulder. Drive, a little lean back. Left ear to the left shoulder. Round, and pause. That's 1. And again. Round, back, and down. 2. Around. If you hear some snap, crackles, pops, you just go a little bit slower through those areas. Round, back, 3. Now I'm really going to try and push my range of motion here a little bit. So I'm going to go round. Make it a little wider. Good stretch through our neck muscles. Down. Back, forward. 1 more. Round. Back. Good stretch. Down. 5. We'll pause and switch over the other way. Out. Around. Back. 1. Out. Around. Back. 2. Out. Around. 3, good. Up, around, back. 4, and we got our last one here. Out, around, back, and 5. And voila. So again, everything that we went through today, focusing on these different areas, whether it be the exercises we used or different exercises, it's super, super important to be able to not only be able to use range of motion, but control range of motion, and if you can, amazing increased range of motion to help prevent injury, particularly through your shoulders, through your neck, or sometimes what can happen is if you're stiff through your spine, you'll compensate in other areas. So these exercises are great. You can perform this sequence twice over. Once you're finished, reset, play it again, or you can do it a couple times a week, whatever it might be.